Knicks fans, the Knicks beat the Indiana Pacers 130. But this game run. Somebody please mute themselves. The Knicks offensively was steady all night. The Indiana Pacers, Indiana kept pace early, no pun intended, with threes. But we only went into halftime with a 6-point lead. But the Knicks kept executing. The story tonight, Josh Hart and Jose Alvarado. Josh Hart goes 33 throws for 33, 12 for 13, shooting from the field. Alvarado, with his first start as a Knicks, goes 16 and 10. OG adds 26 points on 10 for 13 shooting from the field. Balanced offense, ball movement. The Knicks take care of business tonight. Let's talk about it. This is Knicks N Ish. Somebody has to do it.
Hit the intro.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party just lit. Bet is the littest. Good. You know we lit. Good. You know we lit. You know we lit. You know we lit. Turn up, no we lit. Turn up. You know we lit. Let's go deep down. You know we lit. Mrs. Nixon. You know we lit. Kev, what up? You know we lit fresh, that's the Pearly Lord. You know we lit Knickerbocker, have a talk. Let's go! Since the Nish. We lit.
Yo, so I gotta be fast tonight.
No. Allow me. Yeah. You already know what time it is. It's time to talk that Knicks N Ish. Shout out to your favorite panel. Shout out to everyone in the comments. Please continue to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Sharing is always cared for your favorite panel. Also, be sure to if you like some of the content, click the notification button, and that way you get notified every time Knicks N Ish comes on. And if you already got some time, got some money to spend, cop yourself some merch right there on the Knicks N Ish Shopify. We're getting ready for the playoffs because it's about that time. Now, introducing the panel, we start off every show by introducing the First Lady of Knicks N Ish, Mrs. Knicks. We then follow up with the one and only. You got to say it, dude. No, you got to say it. We start off with you're always second. Come on, you got to start.
Nah, Kev is always second. I'm usually
No. Kev gets his own intro. You got to do the I'm a sports plug.
Yeah, but
Ya tú sabes.
Very well. We'll put it, Mr. Yatu Sabe, Mr. Machine Gun himself, and then of course,
I'm a spark plug.
my beloved host, Tea Time. I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Avenue. Let's check out the comments. Already starting up. Rodney Jones. Mr. R is untitled. What up, bruh? Marlon Mayhem. What's popping, B?
What up, cuz?
Molly
Mr.
Mall, what
Michael
up?
Brown. Good win.
Yes,
I already know he's been here for a while now. Mr. Matty Ice was good.
All right. Maddie Smooth, my God.
And she has to get her own intro. I'm gonna have to come up with a sound effect for her. One and only Miss Darlene.
For sure.
So let's round it out for, as Tea Time alluded to, the New York Knicks. No JB, no problem. Knicks destroyed the Indiana Pacers. Final score 136-110. JB did not play due to an ankle and some supposed cervical neck problem that management. But as he said it on the post game, he got a chance to shoot the rock more. On 12 for 13 shooting, Josh Hart has his career high as a New York Knick with 33.7 boards, 5 assists in only 26 minutes. He didn't play a lick in the fourth quarter. That's crazy. OG doing OG things. The big
Right.
bodega contributed. Then, of course, we also mentioned Jose Alvarado's first start at point guard as a Knick. 16
Double.
points, 10 assists. He's in the elite company for the first start. Mikal Bridges still trying to figure out, what's up with him. But he did his thing. Jordan Clarkson also contributed. But initial reactions, Mrs. Knicks, if you please.
I'm still not happy.
Of course not.
I'm just still not happy. Not with our game. Offensively, we played well. Defensively, there's still a problem. There's still a problem when I think they started off like 11 for 16 or something like that in threes. And defending the three-point line has been an issue for us all season. And as we round down, the end of the season, it's becoming more and more apparent that whatever worked when we switched and became a great defensive team has now reverted backwards. And so that is a bit concerning for me. Luckily for us, tonight, we played a ass Indiana team, and we shot well ourselves, right? But shooting well isn't an every night thing for the Knicks, and so we have to rely on our defense. And so, yeah, we need to figure that out. We ain't got much more time. 38 assists, I'm good with that. The ball was moving freely. And not because JB wasn't playing Steven, more because a lot of people were making their shots tonight. I mean, it is what it is. We know Indiana's ass. They not on our level, so we take the win.
Yeah, you didn't say the phrase. You got to say that before I say it.
We put belt to ass.
All right, thank you.
Come that second half.
I needed that phrase. But real quick to address Steven too, I saw that comment. The last game when we had JB, we did win. We are 2-1 when JB plays against the Pacers. Just FYI, just to update your information. I ain't care.
Like, I'm glad that we was able to kind of like end it in the second half early, because the way Indiana was shooting the three, to be honest with you, I was I was a little concerned in the first half. Like, fuck, man, this can't be happening, yo. Defensively, we still having issues protecting the perimeter for some reason. I don't know. Even when we contest, these guys make shots. But you gotta love how Josh Hart came through. The guy stepped up today with no captain. I thought that Josh played. He was chucking up 3-point shots. I think he was 5 for 5. I think he missed one shot all game long, if I'm not mistaken, or two. I think he went 12.
Correct.
He went 12 for 3 from the field, a 92%, 5 for 5 from the 3-point line. He missed a free throw. 33 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. He stuffed the stat sheet. He should definitely be player of the game for sure with a game like that. Shout out to Alvarado also for coming up with the double and stuffing up the stat sheet. Doing what he's supposed to do. I just thought that, in that first half, I thought we could have played better defensively, but it is what it is, man. Guys come to MSG and show out all the time, but I'm glad that we stayed aggressive. We didn't blow our lead in the second half, and we just kept going and going. Shout out to Jordan Clarkson for staying ready as of late. Oh, wow, look at that. My man. Okay, good for you.
He
Jordan,
had 2 or 3 steals, if I'm not
He did,
mistaken.
yeah. He had 2 steals. So yeah. Um, shout out for Jordan Clarkson for staying ready as of late. You know, he's been playing decent. You know, from how he, before he just was completely out of the rotation to now getting his burn and getting minutes back. You gotta, shout him out for that. And shout out to the guys. I think we had one, two, three, 6 players in double figures or seven, right? One, two, yeah, 6 players in double figures. So, shout out to the guys.
What you think, Knickerbocker? You on mute?
I think I still share the same sentiment that you do, Mrs. Nix, about not being completely happy. But if I'm gonna take positives of this, I like that the next man mentality is in full effect tonight. No JB, no problem. Everybody else took care of business. Randu. And Mr. Jeremy House is here. I love that Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns, and OG Anunoby did take care of business. They did what they were supposed to do. The ball did move a little bit more freely, and that's to kind of overcompensate for the fact that JB wasn't there. But that doesn't mean that we're better than without JB. I think that would be like an asinine statement at this point. But I do love the next man up mentality, and that's the kind of mentality you want to be going, heading into this stretch of the season, and of course, heading into the playoffs. So I agree with Kev about the defensive effort in the definitely in that first half. I didn't think that the Knicks really played consistently. There was a lot of situations where they were really stepping it up in terms of intensity wise defensively, especially guarding the 3-point line and in the paint. But when it came down to, some key possessions, and you noticed that Indiana was going to start, doing what Indiana is known to do, run up and down the court and shoot a lot of high percentage 3-pointers. And fortunately for us, they weren't really hitting them at a consistent clip. I believe that, they ended up shooting, 17 for 38, which is still pretty decent, but it wasn't enough because they got destroyed in the paint, 62-46. So I like that the Knicks, did have the next man up mentality in full effect tonight, and apparently, look at the final score. So I'm not completely happy, but I'm satisfied with the victory, and I'm satisfied with the kind of statement that this kind of game can actually demonstrate.
So my little furthermore, my little 2 cents on the game. I think it was just an offensive juggernaut of a game for the team. We shot 54% from the field, 44% from 3-point range. The Pacers shot 45% from 3-point range. That's really good. That's really good. And we won this game because we were just better offensively than they were. Defensively, we weren't great. I think we turned it up a little bit in the second half. First half, I believe they made 11 3-pointers. Second half, they made 6 3-pointers. It doesn't sound like a lot when it comes to the grand scheme of things, but it is. Yeah, when you can cut somebody, because normally when you think about it, teams usually get better as the game progresses. So if you could make them regress in any field offensively, especially shooting 3-pointers, that is definitely attention to detail on your end. But offensively is where we stood out tonight. Jose Alvarado, definitely next man up mentality. His first start as a Knick in the Garden, he definitely made, New York proud. The prodigal son return home. You know what I mean? Like, he had a great game, 16 and 10, double-double. Yeah, I mean, for a perennial bench player in his first start on a new team, it is nothing to sneeze at as well. I like the way we look offensively when he's on the court. He definitely organizes the offense, gets people where they need to be, uh, and it was quite a few easy buckets off of his passes tonight. Yeah, I mean, like it was quite a few of them. You know, no shade to JB, but it's just a different style of play when it comes to him and Alvarado. JB obviously scored first. Alvarado's obviously passed first. It was beautiful to see his 3-point shot falling tonight, something that he's been struggling with over a litany of games, you know. I think he missed his last 16 3-pointers taken or some shit like that. I don't got the exact number, but it was a wild number like that. And he went crazy tonight. I forgot what his actual 3-point shooting stat was tonight, but I know it was good. 4 for 7 from 3-point range tonight after missing like 16 consecutive. That's tough. Josh Hart, yeah, I mean, I've always had an issue with Josh Hart not being more aggressive. We know Josh Hart can score, right? We all know he can score. I just think he'd be tentative too much, too tentative too much. You know, yeah, that N1 was tough too. Yeah, cookies. Yeah, there was outside cookies. There's a bakery out there, all them cookies. You feel me? But yeah, Josh Hart can score. I think that sometimes he's too passive, especially when JB's on the court. He's super passive. When it's times where like, yo, like I watch you have lane and you just kick the ball out. Like sometimes you gotta look to score. I'm not saying that you gotta shoot 3-pointers every time because obviously not every night you're gonna go 5 for 5. But what I'm saying is like when you get downhill, you gotta take your shots. It be times sometimes you'll curl to, you know, the elbow. I think that's what they call I can't remember. I mean the elbow. Like by the free throw line. You'll curl there, get the ball, and won't look to shoot, and that's your range. You feel me? Like I just need Josh Hart to be more aggressive, for lack of a better word, right? So with me saying that, my question to the rest of the panel is: Josh Hart scoring 33. Is that something the Knicks should lean into more offensively? Who started? I think Sis started. Kev.
Like, do you mean like should they include him more into the offense?
Absolutely.
Um, I mean, I think, but you got JB and Cat obviously, taking most of the shots, but you should try and get Josh, more touches. He's shooting the ball well from the 3-point line better this year. He's really good at finishing at the basket. So yeah, I think they should include him more into the offense. It'll open up the offense. It'll take some pressure off of Jalen Brunson and even Cat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think they should.
Knickerbocker.
I think that tonight was just a great opportunity for him. Do I think the Knicks should be doing this on a consistent basis? Maybe a little bit more frequently, but I don't think that you should go to that well, on a consistent night. But that should just goes to show you that Josh Hart is perfectly capable. But as Kev alluded to, between Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, you got OG Anunoby. They're pretty much your 3 primary scorers off Rock, and then you have to factor in eventually. You're going to factor in somebody like a Jordan Clarkson. You're going to have to factor in Jose Alvarado. You're going to have to eventually figure in Deuce McBride. So
Hmm.
does Josh automatically, become like the fifth or sixth option. No, I think that it's just if you see your shot, take your shot. Should he be a little bit more aggressive? Absolutely. But at the same time, as long as it's not disrupting the complete flow of the offense, if the ball's moving and it's your night, then it's your shot. But if it's not, then keep moving the ball around, and I think that goes for everybody. It's not exclusive to Josh Hart. I think it's exclusive. It should be a Knick thing as a team. You should go into it knowing that tonight could be your night or tonight cannot be your night. And if it's not your night, do what Josh Hart does on most nights. If he's not shooting the rock, he's rebounding, he's defending, he's stealing, he's diving for loose balls. He's doing all that grunt work. So, you can win a game without scoring a point. Josh Hart has made it almost a career of that. Guys like Dennis Rodman have made a career of that. They made a Hall of Fame career of that. So can it be done? Absolutely. But if it's your shot, take it. I mean, you're not going to get many opportunities, considering just the names that I just gave you. Who's going to have the green light before you?
Sis.
I think we should be looking for him more. One, teams are just leaving him open. Teams aren't respecting him as a basketball player. Never mind his shot that we know he can make. And so if they're going to leave him open, we have to make them pay. And so, yes, the Knicks absolutely should look to get him involved in the offense on a nightly basis. It takes a lot of pressure off of JB offensively, takes a lot of pressure off of Cat, and really off of everybody. When you have 5 guys on the court at the same exact time that can throw up 20 on you, it's going to put a lot of pressure on defenses to defend us correctly. And so, yeah, I mean, we know he's capable of it, right? It's just the way you see other teams play him and just completely allow him to be wide open. The way that we saw, who was it? Denver defends him. I think the Spurs were doing it where they had Wemby kind of just floating around defensively, not respecting Josh. We have to make teams like that pay. We've seen Josh step up. So, tonight doesn't surprise me. His efficiency really did, because he was just hot. But this is what I say when I say, our team is so talented that it can be any guy's night. And we have to take advantage of that. We have to feed the hot hand, whether it be JB, whether it be Cat, Josh, OG, whomever. Because teams are, again, looking to stop JB and think they'll stop us that way.
So, again, to reiterate my little 2 cents, I feel like Josh should definitely get more touches, because Josh is averaging like 7 shots a game or a little bit lower than that. I can't remember. I think it's lower than 7 shots a game, but it's around that space. And I think he can get to, I'm not asking for a lot more shots. I'm asking him to take about 3 to 4 more shots a game, which is something that is actually possible, because what we've known about Cat so far this season, when JB is on the court, he's not taking 20 shots a game. It's not happening. When JB's on the court, Cat is not taking 20 shots a game. We got a whole season to see that that's not happening, right? Cat took 21 shots tonight. Alvarado took 10. Again, when JB's on the court, both of these shots naturally is going to go down because JB's taking those shots. And then you got to factor in the fact that nobody played pretty much in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of shots to be had still, because you're looking at people like Dottie that's got 4 shots because nobody played in the fourth quarter. Who else? McCullough took 2-3 from Tyler. You talking about people that's not playing. So it's like I'm saying, I'm just saying that to make a point. There's shots still to be had, right? If guys are playing the full game, Josh could take another 3 to 4 more shots. And like Sis said, the way they play him lends to, we're going to give him a 3-point shot. But we already know if Josh get downhill, it's not too many people that's stopping him from scoring. And I said this before in a previous live, is eating up that space that they're giving you. That's what Giannis does. And I'm not saying Josh is Giannis. You know what I mean? Because, people are remedial with they understand it. But what I'm saying is that's what Giannis does. Everybody wants Giannis to shoot the ball. They give him a lot of cushion to shoot the ball. But what Giannis does is goes, fuck you, I'm getting to the cup. I'm going downhill and I'm getting to the cup. And I'm not saying that Josh needs to do that every play. I'm just saying there's possibilities for him to score more. Make them pay for either leaving you open or giving you that much space. You know what I mean? Because not every night you're going 5 for 5 from 3-point range. I'm not expecting that of a Josh Hart. But I'm just saying he could be wildly more aggressive. It's too many times I'll be watching him get almost to the basket. Literally jump. If he extends his arm, it's probably damn near a dunk, right? And then he throw the ball to the 3-point line, and I'm like, what we doing? what we doing? Like, get the 2 points, homie. You feel me? But shout out to Josh tonight for that 33. That was tough. OG Anunoby dropped 26 tonight. Very efficient scoring as well. 10 for 13. Is this the version of OG we need to win a championship? Knickerbocker Ave.
Yeah.
Well, I really need to say more. I think an analogy that or comparison that they were making was that OG Anunoby is like the modern day Scottie Pippen, which I don't think is a fair assessment because Scottie is just is there's so many things that Scottie can do that OG can't, but the level of toughness on the defensive end and what he's been able to achieve this season. First of all, shout out to him for staying healthy. Secondly, being able to, really fill in as the number 3 option behind Cat and JB. So he's really, making you rethink on whether or not we overpaid for him when we signed him to that, that $230 million extension. So I got to say that this is the OG Anunoby that's going to get us a championship. Now that, do we need him to, in order to do that? He's going to will us that way. Because, yes, JB does JB things. Cat can have a 30-point night. But you're going to need OG Anunoby to be the OG Anunoby that we traded RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly for. We need him to be that guy. Because, he already has an NBA championship ring. But the crazy thing is that he didn't even play in the NBA Finals that year. He was injured. So I'm pretty sure that he has that thought in the back of his mind, thinking that if I can make it, with the Knicks to the NBA Finals and I get my chance, I can have maybe an MVP series similar to what Kawhi Leonard did for San Antonio. What was it, 2014, 2015, I think it was, where they held check the Heat. He can have that kind because he can do it on both sides of the floor. He can defend 1 through 5, and he can put up a bunch of, he can put the ball in the hole, as good as anyone, and he doesn't just rely on the shot. He drives to the lane. He bounces off of big men. He does all the dirty work. So yeah, to answer your question, do we need that? Absolutely. I think honestly that this is the kind of OG Anunoby that's going to will us that way.
Sis, you muted. You muted. You muted. You muted.
My bad. The dogs were going crazy. I absolutely think so. I think the OG that we've seen thus far this season is very surprising to me. Previous season, he was really like behind the 3-point line. This season we're seeing a really aggressive getting into the paint, playing bully ball. You can tell he's even worked on his handle because it's not so jittery. Where last season I'm like, no, OG, do not dribble into the paint. Please don't. But again, we need these type of players, right? Like we need players that can shoot the three, can get into the paint the way JB does, the way Mikal can whenever, when he's on his game, the way Cat can, because it just opens up the offense so much and makes us such a threat. Even the way Josh does it, because Josh now is hitting the three at a high clip. But it's great to see OG, develop his game, let's say, at this point in his career. It ain't many defenders that's going to really stop him, to be honest, because he's a big body. Pause. I wouldn't want to, stand in front of that and he's running towards me with the basketball. No, but he is. I mean, he's an all-around guy. Defensively, he's a demon, like we always say. And offensively, he's been pretty consistent this season, and I love it.
Kev, holla at me, man.
We definitely gonna need him to be playing like this if we want to win a championship. Because if he doesn't play like this, who's to say it ever who's to say we win a chip? I like the way he's been playing this year. I'm like Av said, I'm glad that he's been able to stay healthy. I know he got injured and missed some time, but other than that, he's been pretty okay this season. But if he keeps playing like this, and on both sides of the court, shout out to him because it's not easy playing both sides. Because just like he gotta, hustle on the offensive side, he gotta go and play defense on the best player on the other team every night. So yeah, man, we definitely need him to play like this to win a championship. It'll just make it easier for us to win a championship if he start putting up numbers like this and shutting down guys on the other side. You know what I mean? Because defensively, that's where we have been playing solid basketball defensively as of late. But if he pick it up even more from here on out, sky's the limit for us.
I would agree with all of y'all because I believe OG, all the commentators say that Cat is the key. Obviously he is, right? He's the number 2 guy, right? Obviously Cat is part of the reason if we win the championship, why we're going to win the championship. But I really feel like the X factor for me is OG. And for all the reasons that you guys mentioned, defensively, he's one of the best in the whole entire NBA. Offensively, we see from a night-to-night basis how good he could be, right? And if he's consistently, I'm not saying that every night he has to give what he had tonight, 26. Yeah, obviously that's not going to be the case, right? But efficiency, high teens, low 20s, right? That's what we I kind of want to see from OG in the playoffs on a night-to-night basis. Not easy to do. Not easy. I understand exactly what I'm asking for and the high degree of difficulty that I'm asking for it, because in the playoffs, this was star shine. In the playoffs, that's where he's going to have to guard the likes of Cade Cunningham, Brown, Tatum. Tatum ain't all the way back yet. Until I see Tatum get all the way back, I'm not going to count him. Brown, Donovan Mitchell, you feel me? Like those guys of that cloth to get to the final. He's going to be guarding those people, and then I'm asking him also on the other end to give me between 18 to 24 points. You feel me? Like that's a difficult ask. But I also understand that he's talented enough to do it. The one thing that impressed me this year is, like Sis said, in previous seasons, we watched him stand in the corner. After the All-Star break, he's been attacking the basket with relentlessness. For my 2K players, he has relentless finisher badge on gold since the All-Star break. And I think he's more than capable to continue the style of play. Somebody mentioned injuries and his healthiness. Got to give credit to the New York Knicks training staff. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because how many people on this team before they got here was labeled as injury prone? It was a lot of people, including myself, that was scared to get OG Anunoby because of his injury history. He's been the healthiest he's been his whole entire career since he's been in it. Cat was another one. Part of the reason I was scared to trade Jules for him is because his injury history wasn't too great. Before he got here, his previous healthiest season was under Tibbs. And once Tibbs gone, he played 60 games, 50 games, 40 games. Like, it wasn't really great. The 2 years that he's been here, he's been healthy. Of course, he missed some time. We're 7-footer, don't miss time. But for the most part, he's played 70-plus games in both seasons. This is something that needs to be – shout out to the Knicks training staff. The only person that I'm worried about is Deuce. Deuce is the only one that can't get right. That nigga always hurt. He always hurt. You muted, sis.
They in contact in practice.
Yeah, shout out to him. We need him back too. Another defensive demon. But for the most part,
he's been
either or he's sick.
Or something happened. But no, there is a testament to the Knicks training staff. The only thing I'm just not feeling is obviously the handling of Mitchell Robinson. I think that at this point in the season, we need to start seeing him play more consistently and be available for back-to-backs. But considering the level of opponent, I can understand why they won't. But if it's, from my personal preference, just my personal preference. But salute to Frankie Fingers.
We did see him play 30-something minutes the other night.
We did. However, what annoyed me was the sitting of back-to-backs. I think that started to become like a real crawl, especially when you're playing, the OKCs of the world or the Lakers or whatever. It's like that was the part that was getting annoying. And I understand that it's load management and stuff like that. However, this is your contract year, is it not, Mitchell Robinson? You do want a pay raise, do you not? And we want to keep you, but you also have to justify a pay increase.
and you only playing half the games. That doesn't make sense to me.
So this is where I disagree, right? I get it. It's your preference. I'm not arguing against your preference, right? But I'm just saying this is where I disagree. I'm going to read from beginning of Mitchell Robinson's career, games played. Only games played. Rookie year, 50. Year after that, 17, 31, 59, 72, 31. Last year he played 61. This year he played 66, and we still have another, 14, 15 games to go?
Wait, last year he played how many games?
61. 61 last year.
That doesn't make sense.
I read it the wrong way. My bad. I read it the wrong way. First season was 66, 61. 66, 61, 31, 72, 59, 31, 17, 50 so far this season.
Okay.
He's on track to play the most game he's played since his rookie season.
Okay, I was saying so because last year he only played 7 or 17 or something like that.
Facts, 17. I read it the wrong way. I read the list the wrong way. Blame the wine. But yeah, my point is, I get it. You know, I would want Mitchell Robinson to play every game if possible. But I also want him as healthy as possible going into the playoffs. We're talking about, like, I get it. I've had this conversation with Sis, and Sis leans heavily on your side in this conversation. But I also I get it. I want Mitch to play every game too. But also know, going into the playoffs, we have a series-changing player in him, right? Series-changing. What he does on the basketball court could literally change the whole entire series in a game or two. We've seen it already in the playoffs. What he could
knows it firsthand.
You know what I mean? We've seen it. So I get it. Right? We want him to ramp up and back-to-backs. But does that outweigh the importance of him playing playoffs, being healthy for the playoffs? And I just gave all the kudos to the training staff. Obviously, the training staff knows something that we don't know.
And I think it's a little tough to like put it on him because we don't know the backstory as to whose decision it is for him not to do it. Whether it's him and his team, or is it the Knicks team, the Knicks, front office and training staff. So it's a little iffy for me. I absolutely want to see him more just as we get closer to the playoffs. But I did agree with you, T-Time. I'm okay with seeing him play more minutes because it at least shows me, okay, he can hold 30 minutes. You know what I mean? He can fight down there for 30 minutes. And actually, he had the game of his freaking life that night. I guess what left a bad taste in my mouth with the not playing back-to-backs is probably the games they chose to sit him in the back-to-back, right? Because I would have liked to see him against OKC. I forget who we played the night before, but it was like, why? And I understand why you said they didn't, right? It was a division game, but I'm like, we want to see where we line up with the best of them. Fuck the division.
Yeah, I get that as well. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's not Mitch's. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's Mitch's decision. I mean, we've had Mitch's whole entire career. What's that, about 7 years now? About 7 years now. And one thing I think we could grasp from Mitch, he wants to hoop. You feel me? He wants to hoop. I don't think he's ducking any smoke when and playing basketball. But I also think he understands that, hey, I'm a commodity and I'm going to listen to what this training staff has to say. Because what everybody knows, even in the contract year. If these guys win a championship, everybody prices go up. Everybody. There's not a player on that roster that don't, when they go into negotiations, don't get a little bit of pay raise when they talk about, yeah, I'm a champion. Maybe it'd be $1 million or $2 million depending on who you are. Maybe it'd be 5 or 10 depending on who you are. But there's a pay raise that's coming for champions. You know what I mean? So I think he understands that as well. And Mitch in the playoffs is, we've seen it. How brief it may have been. We've seen how teams be like, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? How do you stop it? How do you stop the offensive rebounds, please? Because in clutch situations, we all watch him get 2, 3, sometimes even 4 possessions, extra possessions in the same possession, which is him being on the court. And we miss that when he's hurt in the playoffs. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna land the plane there on that.
I'm gonna say, shout out to our lead trainer, Casey Smith. He's one of the best, athletic trainers in the league. He's, well known. I think he was before with Dallas. So I'm pretty sure he has an idea of what's going on with Mitch and how they're gonna handle Mitch. They've done a pretty good job keeping our guys pretty healthy, not just Mitch, but everybody else too. Even Cat, Josh was playing with a fucked up finger, and look at him, he's still holding it down.
Shooting the best.
Shooting the best, even right. And so yeah, I mean, listen, I would like to see Mitch, like Av said, I completely agree with Av, but at the same time, I'm not gonna go against our training staff guys, man. Like, they obviously know what's going on. They see Mitch on a regular basis. And who knows? Maybe there's something that they keeping from us that we don't know about, and they just trying to like play him safe. You know what I mean? Who knows? I'm just assuming here. I don't know, but yeah. So I love Mitch. I would love to see him play more, but I'm a trust in our guys and believe they doing whatever is right for Mitchell Robinson.
I have a sneak suspicion that we are looking at a release the Kraken moment. The playoffs
maybe in the playoffs they play him every game. You know what I mean? Like, they just play him every game.
I think we're looking at release the Kraken moment. The players come in, look like release the Kraken. And Mitch come out and get fucking 20 rebounds.
And how nice of a problem it is, right? How nice of a problem it is for your head coach to be able to have somebody like Mitchell Robinson to back up Karl-Anthony Towns, man. Like, that's a great problem to have, man.
And not only that, but to play them together like today.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing it more often the last couple of games where he's put them in together, and they've been really good together. They're looking for each other. Mitch is getting some assists off of Cat.
Yeah. Nah, listen, and my question to y'all is, right?
Yeah.
Do you add him to the starting lineup? Do you start Mitch?
I think that depends on the matchup. That's clearly a matchup situation. If you mess up that rotation and pull Josh Hart out, move OG to the 3 and move Cat to the 4, you risk having you're playing 4-on-5 offensively, and then 4-on-5 or 5-on-3 defensively, because we already know the defensive lapses that you have with both JB and Cat. Even though they're not terrible defenders, but
Right.
they're going to be they're going to be matchup hunting. And so if you try to draw out both Cat and Mitch out to the perimeter, that leaves that paint wide open. And who's usually sitting there, trying to get, take a charge? It's going to be JB. And I mean, you put him in a risk of being in foul trouble. So I don't know if I like that idea. I think I do agree with you that in the correct matchup, you should do that. You should definitely consider that, in mid-series to kind of like throw in a monkey wrench if things are not going, according to plan. But you stick to the starting five that we know, makes sense. We stick to the starting five that we know was the best scoring five last year, and we know the scoring five that can, get the game started. They just have to be able to actually get it started.
And even this year, they
So,
top five, right? Top five offense. What up, cuz?
I don't know what the numbers are this year, but they were definitely.
This year we are as a whole. Like I don't know about the start lineup, but as a whole,
I think we top five.
We number 3 offensively, number 5 defensively.
Yeah, right.
That's over the last couple of weeks, though, isn't it?
Nah, that's season.
No, that's the season.
Yeah. Offensive, 5 defensively. Yeah. Well, the last time I checked was a couple games ago, but I don't think that changed.
Right now,
yeah, giving up 110.
Offensive rating, we're 3.
Yeah, giving up 110 and they probably didn't help. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But last time I checked, we was 5 defensive. Yeah,
we're actually 5th right now in terms of net rating, in terms of starting 5. OKC has a plus 10.7, Boston a plus 7.9, Detroit, San Antonio, and then we have 6.3. Yeah. That's the starting 5 of Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby, Towns, and Robinson.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Kev.
No, I was saying we 6 defensive rating. We're 6.
Yeah, I that's why I said I knew that 110. But because it was like last time I checked, it was like a couple point whatever, like 0.2, 0.3 ahead of the person behind us. But yeah, I agree with all that. I think changing up the rotation would not help at this stage. I believe obviously, if we go in the playoffs and the team is starting to absolutely whip our ass on the boards, then you go see Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup. That would be a change. But until then,
T, you gotta see this. This is one of the few times me and Stephen Kennedy are seeing eye to eye. Bridges better get 30 against the Nets, so we benching his ass.
Nah, we're not betting. So, yeah, listen. This is why I say I'm not tolerating no Mikal Bridges slander. Is he having an offensive slump? Absolutely. It's disgusting how bad he's playing offensively. But defensively, he's still really good. He's still playing top-notch defense. Let's not forget that. Top-notch defense. But for I'm not calling anybody this. I'm just saying in general. But for the casual eye, when you watch him guard an elite scorer and they get 25 to 30 points, you're like, oh, he's not playing good defense. Motherfucker, that can happen to anybody. I don't care how good you play defense. If you guarded a Cade Cunningham, a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, a fucking Luka Doncic, a Kevin Durant, who else I could throw out there that is really good at scoring a basketball? Devin Booker. It can happen to anybody because those guys are just that fucking good at scoring the basketball. right? But if you look at the quality of shots these guys have to make over a Mikal Bridges, is exactly what you want. They be shooting over outstretched arms all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's in passing lanes. He's making, he's giving good ball to now. Pause. I don't like the way that sounds. All these things. So I'm not thinking no Mikal Bridges slander. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about Mikal. This is the same thing as last season, right? People were complaining. Yes, he's having a bad shooting stretch right now, but that's part of the game, right? I don't think it's affected him defensively. I think Mikal steps up when we need him to, and even in poor shooting nights, he makes huge fucking shots for us down the stretch of games when we need it. We know what he will bring in the playoffs. I mean, I'd rather him, if you want to, we've said it all season, rather it happen now than later. And I don't know why that wouldn't be the case right now, right? Let it happen right now, and then he catch fire during the playoffs. I think he'll get it. We're not playing great teams down the rest of the stretch of the season. This is the perfect time for him to get his shot back.
Yeah, I agree with that 110%. And then you add what we saw him do in postseason last year. Not only offensively, but defensively.
We don't win both series without him.
You hear what I'm saying? To your point, sis, I not only Mikal, but the team as a whole, this is a great time to catch a rhythm, catch a stride, build momentum. I mean, we 4 wins in a row tonight. 4 wins in a row tonight, and we got a few other teams that's supposed to be beatable for us. I don't want to jinx ourselves. I mean, I don't want to say
it's not only 4 wins, but 4 wins in games that we didn't play our best basketball. Like, as Knicks fans, we can agree these 4 games have not been the best Knicks basketball. And to be able to pull it off, while I'm still not impressed, I'm a little impressed. A little impressed, because these are games in previous seasons we may have lost.
Facts. I'm maybe not so much in the JB era, but pre-JB era, for sure, this would have been
I mean, a game like tonight where we let Indiana shoot the way they did, JB sitting out, we may have lost.
I'm just what I'm saying. I'm saying this when I say JB, I mean this iteration of the Knicks, right? I feel like the JB era kind of signifies a shift in the team as a whole, not just with him being here. Because before, sheesh.
Yeah, these are big.
Sheesh.
Like if RJ and Quickly was on our team, we would have got roasted tonight.
Me and Kev sat here many a night trying to piece together what the fuck happened. We be saying like, yo, I don't know what happened. Please, we get roasted. You feel? But I think it's not only I think it's a mind shift in the whole entire team and the organization, but it's the never give up attitude, even when shit is not going our way. Because even games that we supposed to win that we lost, we always make it a fight. It's never just like I won't say never. It's almost never like a straight up just wire to wire blowout where there's no fight. It looked like we never had a chance to ever. The Knicks always give us that feeling like, wait, hold on now. We get a couple more stops. We might be talking about something. But to Kev's point, I'm not saying this every night, sis. I'm saying more time.
No. I see it. I know what you're saying. I feel like last season, because I think I mentioned this last show, I think last season I felt more like that than this season. This season, I've seen quite a few games where they're like, maybe it's just not the will to win that we had last season.
I feel like we're not working from the same I have something to prove play.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like last season we had more of we have something to prove attitude. I think this season we operating from a place of privilege, which is not necessarily a good thing. But with the feeling of, man, we just got to get to this postseason and have a decent enough seed, pause, to put the matter a little bit, right? Like, because I also feel like once you get to the Eastern Conference Finals or the semifinals, it don't matter home court advantage that much, because usually
Knicks fans gonna be everywhere anyway.
and teams that good usually play good on the road too.
Yeah.
So did we saw that last season, last postseason? Yeah.
I feel like it could be I feel like it could be maybe we lost a little mojo by not having Tibbs, to be honest with you, man. I felt like with Tibbs, you know, our guys look more prepared. You know, in the huddle, you would see you know, Tibbs engage with our guys, drawing up plays, you know, doing stuff like that. Whereas this year, you know, Mike Brown stepping to the side and you got homeboy drawing up plays for us and telling us what to do, which I don't really like how he lets that happen. You know what I mean? I felt like the guys look more prepared under Tibbs. They played more physical. You know, there was more how can I say, more hustle. You know what I mean? Like with I don't know if, but with Mike Brown, there's a big difference in that this season. You know, you don't see that same hustle, that same grit. I constantly see us like struggling sometimes to win games. I didn't see that last year. You know what I mean?
Oh no, struggled a lot. There's a lot.
I mean, but there was like Mrs. Nick said, there was that there was this thing that, you know what, yeah, we struggling, but I know the Knicks are gonna come back and win this game at the end. You know what I mean? This year we haven't seen much of that. You know what I mean? I think maybe a few times we came back and won a few games, but not many.
I think that kind of goes back to the same thing that we've been saying for a while now. This is that where's your pride? Where's that grit? Where's that instinct
Right.
that you know that was demonstrated very last year? Because when you start looking at these spells where the Knicks were losing games in stretches, like early on in January, from December to January, maybe even early in the season when they were losing games that they had no business of losing. Yes, you can actually say that. When that was happening and now we're winning games, I mean, that will explain completely. I mean, look at Mrs. Knicks. Just look at how she's not happy. We just beat a team, a rival team by 26. Josh Hart had a career
about
night.
to win. You know what I mean?
But my thing is like there's a lot of that's missing. And it's definitely because it's the aura that I may not, it may not translating well on television, or I'm just not seeing it at all. But Mike Brown, the way he's you know, like managing and handling this team seems like to be lacking something. And because of that lack, you know, there's that level of concern.
And I feel like too, like, you know, you see how like Mike Brown, he's like so calm, you know, so calm. He doesn't flip out on the referees like the way I think he should. I felt like the guys thrive when they see Thibodeau cursing the referee. What the fuck is wrong with you? How the fuck you did that? Like, you see him completely cursing everybody out on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that. I feel like that kind of is missed. You know what I mean? I don't think we kind of see that from him. I think he got one tech all season long. Like, yo, bro, come on, B. There's been plenty of times where I'm seeing our guys getting murdered, and he's just sitting there like this with his arms crossed. No action, no nothing. Like, bro, come on, B. Like, I need you to, and maybe the players that kind of rubs off maybe not the right way on the players. You know what I mean?
So here's the thing, right? And I would love Mike Brown to get more text for sure, because the way that's been getting ref this season is disgusting. I think somebody got a sticker for Cat, and I think that has to be the coach.
Right.
But at the same time, right? The two coaches that we're talking about, one of them got a ring, one don't. One was coaching LeBron. Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
He had like everybody on that team.
I'm not talking about as like assistant coach. I'm talking about as a head coach. One got a ring, one don't.
Mike Brown has no rings as a head coach.
Yes, he does.
With who?
He didn't win one with Cleveland?
No.
He did?
No, he won his championship with the Warriors as an assistant coach.
Oh,
and one with the Spurs.
Pardon my bad.
With the Spurs.
I for sure.
And if you want to go that route, Thibodeau got a championship as an assistant coach with the Boston Celtics.
I wasn't counting assistant coaches. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Wrong. Well, excuse me. Yeah, well, look at me trying to help you, but I'm still trying to help you because I still think the things that y'all was praising Tibbs, and again, I was one of the people who was very upset when Tibbs was fired. Just the preference, what I'm about to say. Very upset. Ain't win him no championships. Tibbs been this way, barking on people his whole career. Ain't win him no championships. You feel me? And what I'm saying is this. I'm not also agreeing with everything that Mike Brown does, but also think him relinquishing the offensive play calling to somebody else has bared fruits. We're number 3 in the NBA in offense. Number 3 in offensive ratings, right? And Mike Brown ain't called a fucking offensive play all season. Maybe we might have won a championship if Tibbs would have fucking relinquished the offensive play calling to somebody else, because we all know that the offense in the wrong times have got super stagnant. I won't say we, but we've seen the Knicks fans as a whole complain and call for somebody else. Matter of fact, I will say that. I can't remember who said it. Can't remember. But somebody on this very damn show said maybe Coach Tibbs should hire an offensive coordinator and have them draw up the plays. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that shit on this show. So we can't turn around.
That was Dom. That sounds like something Dom would say.
We can't turn around and be like, now I'm mad at Mike Brown because he has somebody doing some shit that he knows he's better. He's not as good equipped to do. Yeah, I mean, like that to me, the smart boss is delegate. The smart boss is delegate.
That guy that he got doing all that didn't do so well as a head coach, if I'm not mistaken, for the Charlotte Hornets.
Well, most head coaches don't.
It's not like we got some A1 offensive guy there that's doing a hell of a job.
You said for the Charlotte Hornets? Who he had playing on that team?
I'm just saying.
You said the Charlotte Hornets.
I'm just saying.
Who had playing on that team?
I'm just saying, man.
Yo, listen. I don't give a fuck.
Saying.
Yo, most of the time, for most of the Charlotte Hornets fucking after Larry Johnson, for most of their whole existence, right? I don't give a fuck who you had coaching that team. You could have Phil Jackson coaching those teams, and they still would have been ass. They still would have been ass. They never had the players. Outside of Kemba Walker, the best team that the Charlotte Hornets had when it was the Charlotte Bobcats and they made the playoffs, and that team was ass. It was a miracle that they made the playoffs then. And that's because that team was ass. You know what I mean? But most assistant coaches in the NBA are failed head coaches. Sometimes even the good ones end up being assistant coaches. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of the game. I just think we're being too hard on Mike Brown, and we didn't see the postseason yet. If the postseason is ass, then I'm with y'all. Fuck Mike Brown. But I also feel like most Knicks fans are at this point of seeing like, damn, this is supposed to be our year. And everybody's jittery. Oh, it ain't looking like the way it's supposed to look. It ain't. No. You can't do that, bro. You can't get a nightlight. You feel me? We outside. When the postseason comes, then you talk to me when we looking bad. If you scared, get a nightlight.
Lord Jesus, help me. Help me.
Nah, listen, man. I watched enough basketball, right? In my almost 40 years. Thank you, Lord. You feel me? To know that the road to the championship ain't pretty. It ain't always pristine, right? We may have gotten spoiled by a few teams in recent memory that had pristine paths to the playoffs and the championship, but it ain't always that way. We may have got spoiled by the what was it?
The New York Yankees.
The 73 and 9 Golden State Warriors.
That didn't win the title.
Oh, they didn't win the title. They got their ass. You right.
They lost to the Cavs.
But the Celtics, when they won, they had a 60-win season, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Celtics. Who else won recently?
The 72-10 Bulls. The
60-win Golden State. I mean, OKC. They had 60 wins. You feel me? Like we got spoiled by those kind of teams and thinking that it's supposed to look like that to win the championship, but in more times than not, it doesn't.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing.
You don't even win most of the time.
But see, that's the thing, T, is like we knew when we hired Mike Brown, and I think it was me who said it, that we knew it was going to be bumpy. We were going to have some some bumps in the road throughout the season. There was going to be moments of adjustment. There was going to be all this and stuff. But then to actually see it, witness it, and had to experience it, and I mean, just look at some of these games and how and I mean, on top of that, this is why I'm so I really want to see the Detroit Pistons in the playoffs, because the reality is like I want to shut that up. I want to kill that narrative. The only way you're going to kill that narrative is to go head right into it. So if the Knicks showed a little bit more level of consistency, I mean, you can have a bad night, but the Knicks, for some reason, they would have these bad stretches that would extend sometimes 2 or 3 weeks and
a whole month,
and it would look like, for whatever reason, it just happened to coincide with you playing the best teams of the league right then and there, and then you kind of have to make sense of it. It's like, all right, it was just a bad month. It was just a bad day. It was just a bad game. This is a bad matchup. You start to realize it. That's when those doubts kick in. So in a lot of ways, I understand obviously why I feel that way. I understand why other Knicks fans feel that way. But if that doesn't do it for you, then by all means.
I mean, I don't have doubt in the team.
Real quick, because I don't about the losing coincide or the best teams in the league. Last year, we didn't beat no good teams. but he made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes.
No, I mean, I was gonna say, I don't doubt the Knicks could beat the best of them, the Detroits, the Bostons, the OKCs. I mean, I was one of the ones to say it. I wasn't impressed by OKC's championship last year. I felt that if Halliburton would have stayed healthy, it may have went to Indy, because they just looked like an average team in the finals. To me, I guess my issue with the coach is, one, I don't like his offensive philosophy or whatever. But I mean, this deep into the season, for the Knicks to still have struggles, that concerns me a little bit. Just because, like I said last show, we see progress and then we see the step backwards. And it's been happening all season that we're seeing, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 3 steps forward, 1 step back. And it's like, bro, we're at the end. And, I just need to see steps forward the rest of the way. And then I'll be a lot more comfortable. Do I think we can beat Detroit? Absolutely. They can't bully us in the playoffs. They're bullying us right now because the refs are allowing that shit. But if you're going to allow it in the playoffs, you're going to have to allow it both sides, right? They didn't like when we was playing bully ball last season. They was complaining to the refs before the series started. He was crying all fucking series about calls. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not worried. I want the Knicks to be the best Knicks they can be. We've seen spurts of it this season. And, if we see those spurts in the playoffs, teams are in trouble.
I feel like this, right? Yeah.
Someone asked about first year coaches.
I know. And my God, nigga, my guy was just put in work, boy. I saw him typing the whole time. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, shout out to Nick Mike. But I feel like, here's my aluminum foil hat. I'm gonna put it on. I feel like the Knicks are kind of coasting. I feel like we're coasting to the playoffs. We watched the most.
I hope you're right, T-Ton.
We watched the most injuries we've seen in a very long time this season. Talking about star players, whole teams being depleted.
Yeah.
Via injury. I feel like we go into games and test the water. This is what it's looking like to me. I could be wrong. We go into games and test the waters and be like, can we win this game with minimal effort? And then we realize, we can't. All right, let's turn up on these niggas real quick. Because tonight felt like one of those games. For you to be neck and neck with these guys, until the halftime, you know what? We go 30 without your star player. So it's kind of seemed like you could have did this shit from the beginning. But nobody wants to get hurt because the playoffs is right around the corner. I feel like the same way against Golden State. It was like, all right, can we win this game with minimal effort? No. Damn, we got to try. And when we started trying, what happened? You feel me? Like, we're going to chuck up these 3 points. Well, I can't even blame that on that because that's been the MO all fucking season. You feel me? Chucking up 3 points has been the MO all season. But I do feel like at this point, we're trying to win games with minimum effort, especially against these lower tier teams.
But when they make that their norm, does that beat a Detroit? Does that beat a Boston?
I don't think they go into the same. I don't think they go into the playoffs with the same MO.
I sure hope not. Because I agree with you. When we played OKC, I said, even though we took the loss, I saw all I needed to see, that we can hang with them, right? But then you see games where we're struggling against a fully depleted Golden State team, or we having these guys shoot lights out, and who the fuck are they? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, Knicks. Like, why put ourselves in that position to have to fight hard going down the stretch just to win against a trash ass team?
I hear you. He was fiending to put that up. His fiending. He was fiend put that up, huh? But what you gonna call it? Um, I get that too, right? But I also get, like, if we lost, I'm glad we didn't. If we lost to the Pacers tonight, how much would that mean? Especially when the teams below us continue to lose. How much would that mean? Right? Like, what is the grand scheme of us having to win that game? Like, what do we prove by win? Like, you obviously we should win this game. I'm not saying that we shouldn't win this game. I'm not saying that we should have potentially lost it. But we got a few games left. 2.5. We're 2.5 games above the Cavs, right? I don't think, if I'm trying to get going to the postseason healthy, we got 14 games left, 15 games left. I'm going to test the waters to see if we could beat y'all by doing the least amount as possible. I'm going to test the waters because, as far as it looked like now, if you're a betting person, right, there's a possibility we could catch the Celtics, right? Possibility. Not guaranteed. Possibility. We're a game behind. It's a very good possibility. The possibility of catching number one, very, right? I'm going to do what I can to win these games, but I'm not going to do that at the risk of hurting myself, knowing that we're going into the playoffs. And when we play in a team like the Pacers, I'm going out there and I'm like, yo, can we win this game without going crazy?
But don't you think there's a higher risk of someone getting injured when you're fighting to win a game that you went down by 21 points and you're now trying to win in the second half? Like, because you're playing double harder instead of playing smart from the beginning and just.
Since I watched that game, I don't think we played double harder. I just think we played harder, like what we should have played like in the first half. I don't think we played double harder in that game. I didn't see them exerting extra more energy. I just think they corrected the things they should have been doing in the first half against the against the fucking Warriors, yeah. And the Warriors started to miss when the pressure started to turn up. As I think it's the norm, because who the fuck are these guys? who the fuck are these guys? Like, when this shit happens, right? When these guys come out shooting the way that they did, especially in the Warriors game, I'm like, oh, that's not gonna last. This is literally the thought process I had watching these games. Like, oh, that's not gonna last. That's not gonna. Who the fuck is this guy? Right, this nigga he just stepped his toe in the NBA. It's not gonna last, especially when the whole team is wilding. It's not gonna last. Tonight, I was surprised that they kept the pace on 3-point shooting as well as they did tonight. But they still lost by 30. So I get it. I'm just saying, everybody needs to just take a beat, woosah. When we see, because we definitely getting out.
I think Mike Brown needs to get it together. That's what the hell I think.
So you think we're gonna get bumped in the first?
I don't think we're gonna get bumped in the first, but I do think that he better, even he says it. I got to do a better job at coaching and adjusting and stuff like that. And I get it; it's your first year with the Knicks, but you got the talent. You got all the talent in the world. You know what I mean? To bring in that chip this year. There should be no letdowns.
But that's what a coach should supposed to do when the team is up.
But sometimes he don't though. Sometimes he don't though. We've seen it plenty of times this year where we just be chucking up threes and chucking up threes and chucking up threes and chucking up threes, and there's no kind of adjustment. It's just 3-pointers all game long. And that got the Boston Celtics almost gentlemen swept last year.
Yo, but listen, you ain't never heard Tibbs take accountability ever, never once. He said, never once, not one time in the whole. You never heard him say, you know what? I need to change some shit. Never once. It's everybody else's fault. I appreciate that more than I appreciate somebody just being like, yeah, the players need to do. Even if it's not all the time. The fact that he's taking some kind of ability speaks volume. Also see,
it's just that when we play a team like Detroit,
you also see the accountability sometimes. I've made a lot of changes. He made a lot of changes. Now, when you have players talking about they need to take more accountability themselves, coach, that's the thing. You feel me? That's the thing. That's something I might see for you feel me? Because when I listen to Mike Brown talk, I hear the game plan that he wants to implement, but I don't always see it. Especially the 3-point shit is the only thing I see that they take heed to. Oh, we're gonna shoot 40.
and not only that, but even the guarding the perimeter has been a problem all season long. The transition defense has been a problem all year long. It's something that we haven't been able to still fix.
Well, 3-point defense has been an issue regardless.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
But
it's been an issue all season long.
Tibbs. But even under Tibbs last season, the Knicks did have a hard time defending the three. I don't think that the last time the Knicks were efficient at guarding the three was what, 2021, when we got bounced out in the first round by Atlanta. That may have been the last time the Knicks were actually decent at defending the three. Aside from that, since the NBA is pretty much 3-point heavy anyway, and it's just as baseball is really heavy on the home run. That's kind of what it is. You live by it and you can die by it. So I don't think that that's something you can blame on Brown. However, the defensive intensity and the offensive shifts throughout the game and the adjustments, that you can definitely hit up. His player management, his rotations, that you can definitely call up on, because we did the same thing to Tibbs, for the 5 years he was here. Times when to call, when he does call timeouts, to try to stop momentums on runs. That's something we did the same thing. I don't think that Mike Brown has had a pretty bad game in terms of that aspect this season yet, but we still got another 12 games to go, so I'm pretty sure that there'll be a situation where that will appear, and hopefully he can work that out before the playoffs start.
Yeah, and is we also watch him tinker with the lineups kind of a lot. Maybe not so much the starting lineup, but the bench. He's tinkered with that a lot, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I can't say. I want to say it's a good thing, but I can't say, because we watch the bench going from being really productive at one point to being non-existent to being really productive to going non-existent. I think that has a lot to do with the tinkering. You feel me? But I also think as a head coach, you got to know what you have, right? You got to know what you have. And we didn't see that with the previous head coach, right? Like,
we didn't have this bench with the previous head coach either.
Even if we did, Kev, we know what's up.
We didn't have this kind of talent on the bench with Tibbs ever.
Yo, Kev, Tibbs has been the same guy his whole career, and I get it.
I know, but I'm just saying, with this bench, Tibbs never had this bench before.
I understand that, Kev, and I get what you're saying. I'm not a bench. What I'm saying is, Tibbs has been an 8-guy rotation. So even if he had this bench, we don't know that he would have played it because we don't have case study, right? We don't have case study for him to be like, yeah, when he has the players, he would have did this. You know what I mean? Because we don't know, and he has a long lineage career, but we never seen it. But what we do know about Mike Brown, you know what I mean, is that he does play his players. He did kind of switch rotation to more of a 10 rotation this season, which is kind of weird. Kind of weird if you ask me, right? Because everything we complained about with Tibbs, he started kind of a little bit, right? He plays his play. That's my own debating whose bench was better or he had the same talent. I'm just saying Tibbs, for his whole career, has never done it. Like, not a thing for him. You know what I mean? And again, this is from somebody who was upset that Tibbs was fired. I wanted my guy to run it back. Do you feel me? I wanted my guy to run it back. But also, I'm not upset at it yet. I'm not upset yet. First year as a head coach, obviously he got more talent than Tibbs did in first year. But we already passed Tibbs' first year as a head coach.
Man. Tibbs was getting smoke every single year he was here. He was getting fire Tibbs every single year he was here. So you know what, Mike Brown? You could get the motherfucking smoke. You could get the motherfucking smoke just like just like motherfucking Thomas Thibodeau did.
But I also feel like he's getting that smoke already too. I've seen a number of people. I can't wait till the season over so we can pack him up. What you said, sis? You muted.
I said me included because I'm ready to pack him up mid-season. But there's also a big difference. Let's just be honest. Mike Brown was hand-delivered a great basketball team. Thibodeau was not. Thibodeau was tasked with figuring it out himself.
From scratch.
Yeah, but you also gotta
he took a team that won 17 games.
Twice. Twice.
Jackass.
Okay.
Jackass.
Okay.
I mean, I agree with you, James. The pressure is all on you for sure. You have the talent. He has the talent to do what needs to be done. Clearly, he had the front office who made great moves at the end of free agency to even make the team better. Do or die, Mike Brown.
Here's my thing too, right? In consistency is the issue, right?
Right.
We've seen this team be good enough to actually we've seen them be like, oh, this is a championship team. We've seen this season,
yes.
Right? Our issue is consistency.
Right.
Yo, that's bad. You remember this conversation we had recently, sis?
Which one?
On the phone. But all right, that's all I want to. Yeah, I mean, let you think about that. Yeah, but yeah, you know, yeah, but you know, we've seen it. It's just us being consistent. I don't think too much. It's the coaching game plan. I also think it's execution at the same time, right? Yeah. Like you know, the coach is always the first person to get blamed, but also we've seen poor execution. We've seen OG Anunoby get the ball, and you know I hate this move. I talk about it all the time. Do that dumbass jab step and chunk up a contested three. Like we've seen that. That's not offense.
Yeah,
I can't imagine Mike Brown being in practice going, yo, OG, when we pass you the ball, stand there for 5 seconds, do a jab shot, and shoot a 3-pointer over the defense. Now, I can't imagine that being the offense. You feel me? Like, so it's also about execution as well. You know what I mean? Also about execution. But, what did I do? Did I end the live?
No, it's still live.
Because something just was happening just now. It looked like this shit just ended. My fault. But yeah. It's also about execution as well. Yeah, I mean, it definitely comes down to the players. Because again, maybe I don't agree with this philosophy or offense, but Mike Brown gives the players a lot of room to do what they do. And a lot of times what they seem like they want to do is shoot. OG is the only one that got it, was like, you know what? Yo, these niggas on the defense is short. I'm about to go to the cup. Give me the ball, y'all. Yeah,
I think, and I see that too, where it's like everyone can kind of do what they want to do, but not everyone works well in that. Some people need structure in their life. I'm one of those people. Like, I need to know what's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen. I'm not one that's just like, all right, go figure it out. So I think that's what we see the difference in. And I agree with you when you said, it was last season is, okay, we need to prove everybody wrong and be this great. And this season is like, they already know how great we are.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I guess just as a fan, it just looks like we took a step backwards, although we didn't, right? Our record doesn't show us that we did. It's just that I guess it's Knicks basketball that I'm missing.
It's
like what I expect Knicks basketball to look like.
And it's also the jitteries of knowing that this is supposed to be the season niggas is supposed to win. And you're like, it's in your mind, it's not looking like what it's supposed to look like. And how the young folks say it is not given championship. You know what I mean? Like, that's in your mind. That's what. And a lot of Knicks fans, they having the same thing, the same reaction. Yo, it's not giving the championship team. But when I'm watching the team, I'm like, all right, yeah, we played shitty defense, but we proved that we far superior offensive team. Far superior. We proved that tonight without JB. You feel me? And that's what I look like, because I know defensively, I've seen it, that we will violate. When everybody's locked in, we will violate. I've seen it. So this is the things that I'm resting my hat on, is like, all right. And then you look at the fact defensive rating, we're 5th in the NBA. Offensive rating, we 3rd in the NBA, right? But when it doesn't look like that when you look at it by a game-to-game basis, right?
Yeah.
Game-to-game basis, it make you feel like, now we're not that good defensively. Right? Game-to-game basis. Like, if
it's really not even game-to-game. It's like spurts of the game.
No,
right?
Yeah, I get it.
But first half is like, but then second half you pick it up. You just can't do that against great basketball teams.
But it's a lot of times we've been here and we complain, both of us, talking about, tonight the defense. Oh my God, the defense was bad. But if before I knew that we was 5th defensive rating, I would have told you that's a lot. Like, if you would have just pulled up and it's like, yo, T, we 5th, I'd be like, word? Like, you sure? You want to recheck that? You feel me? But it's a fact that we are. Yeah, I mean, something that need to be taken into account. I'm my fault for cutting you off.
The good part of this is seeing Cat play defense. Because again, he's another night where he's played decent. When he had like 1 foul in the 3rd quarter, like, is this really Cat? Like, y'all catfishing us out there?
Again, when you have a new head coach, especially when it's completely different from the previous head coach, because I don't think they coach the same, right?
No.
I don't think the team philosophy is the same. I don't think the offensive strategy is the same. I don't think the defensive strategy is the same. It's going to take some time to adjust. It is taking Cat a little bit longer than we would have liked for him to adjust to Mike Brown, but he's doing it. You know what I mean? He's doing it, and he's there. And I, when people talk about him and JB's defense, I'll be like, oh, all right, y'all clearly don't watch Knicks basketball, right? Because Cat and JB is horrible on defense. I'm like, well, Cat can be horrible on defense, but he's not a horrible defender, right? Like same thing with JB. Like he can look horrible on defense, but he's not a horrible defender. Like if you watch JB defend, he's giving maximum effort, right? Like,
And not only that I think what makes JB look like a bad defender, one is his height, which we know, right? The other is a team issue where you're allowing the offensive team to go after him and to go after Cat, right? Instead of fighting over the screens, switching smartly, you allow them to get cooked. And so that's what really makes them look like bad defenders. I don't think they're bad. I think Cat's issue is really just his decision making when it comes to making fouls and stuff. But I think for the most part, he's able to stay, with his guys. And I think Tea Time froze, so it's just me over here. But yeah, I don't think they're bad defenders. It's just, when you're having to defend as JB, having to defend a Shea or something like that, yeah, you're going to look like you're a terrible defender. But initially, you weren't defending Shea. You ended up getting switched on. So, yeah, I don't think he's a terrible defender.
Yeah, my bad. I dead ass just kicked the plug out for my whole computer.
No,
And I'm
you're
like,
good.
oh shit, what just happened? But no, I agree. But that's one of the things I felt like we did better in February, like hiding those switches, even when, to the point I mentioned this before in a previous live, like when JB's man is going to screen, you can hear JB yelling to somebody like, hey, switch. And they switched that before the screen even happened. It was a small sample size. They don't do it every game. I think that's something that we're going to see against Detroit. Because, fucking Cade hunts JB and Cat. He hunts them. You're going to see a lot of pick and rolls with Durant and Cade and whoever JB and Cade. You're going to see a lot of that. And I think we're going to see them revert to going back to them switching on I don't even know the correct way to put this because I've never seen it before. The guy who's going, the screener, like there's going to be a pre-switch on the screener going when it's guarded by Cat. I was like, that's fucking genius. When I was watching, I said, this is genius. This is genius. Like, because it's going to happen. You know it. You have, quote unquote, two defensive liabilities. You have to find a way to protect them, especially when the two are your best scorers. Like, it's not like it's a role player, point player, the guy, three guy that just sit in the corner. Nah, these are the two best offensive players. So, yeah, my thing is, I just feel like everybody's just coasting to the playoffs. You know what I mean? We almost watched fucking Mikal Bridges get hurt twice that night.
Man. Man.
Even him playing better, I was about to be upset. I'm like, ain't no way this nigga been healthy all his
Look,
whole
I
entire
literally was like, all right, bench him because he needs to play next game. Bench him now. He played today. Bench him.
I'm like, ain't no way this nigga been healthy his whole entire career. this season, this one. You feel me? But yeah, shout out to Mikal for being a whole motherfucking soldier. You know what I mean? And still playing. But yo, sis, if you ain't got nothing else, you can pack this up.
No, we good.
All right, yeah. Shout out to everybody else that pulled up tonight. Make sure you press that like button. Sharing is always caring. If you didn't do so already, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Cop some merch. You know, the link is going across the bio. The bottom of the screen. You know what I mean? Yeah, and we play again when? Thursday?
No idea.
I would look it up on my phone, but my phone is.
Let's see. Next we play Friday.
Friday. Oh yeah, so we be back.
Brooklyn.
Oh yeah. I don't care who playing, we gonna win that game for sure. Them guys are ass. What's that? The third? This is gonna be the third season in a row with a sweep. Oh man, I'm gonna have to find a way to make it over to Big Fan Breezy's page. I gotta do it.
You need to invite him over here.
He would pull up too, for sure. He would pull up too and give you all kinds of excuses. We're developing, yeah, whatever. But yeah, we be back Friday for sure. Sis, you gotta do it.
Hit the outro.
Gotta hit that.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party ain't just lit. Bet it's the littest. Trent. You know we lit. Trent. You know we lit. You know we lit. You know we lit. Turn up, know we lit.